Alright, let's get right to it. The Bad Batch episodes 2 and 3. One I really like, the other not so much. Let's start with episode 2, Cut and Run. It's good to see Cut again, although I'm not a big fan of his crazy sideburns. I liked how he knew how to deal with Omega as a kid, making mistakes when Hunter was berating her like a soldier. It shows how leaving the war has changed him. He makes a good point about Omega, how the Kaminoans don't create without a purpose, so we'll have to wait and see what her specialty really is. Speaking of Omega, this episode is very much centered around her, so let's talk about her. She's very new to everything, the lights, the dirt, playing catch, which is kinda sad knowing she's never really experienced anything in real life. Her actions caused by her naiveness for me dangles between annoying and feeling bad for her. Going outside to get the ball, grabbing the chain codes, and going back to the batch after Hunter sent her away with Cut. I'll admit the first time I watched through I thought she was just so annoying. Everything she did just causes more complications and problems for the squad. But upon rewatch and looking at it from her perspective, she's really just trying to help. She's just inexperienced and lacks awareness of the repercussions her actions may have. So even though I didn't really like it, I understood what they were trying to get through. It's sad to see how the clones went from having depth and unique personalities to being robotic ever since the rise of the Empire. One thing that I did like was seeing more world building with the new chain code policy as well as the Imperial credits. Overall, I thought it was a pretty bland episode. Though I understood what they were trying to do with Omega, I didn't really like it. 5 out of 10. Episode 3, Replacements. There's two stories here, one with Crosshair and the Kaminoans, and one with the Bad Batch. Let's start with the latter first. I love that they finally addressed the loss of Crosshair and the subtlety of it. Omega just trying to find a replacement part and coming across Crosshair's weapons cache, and the reaction of the whole team just tells the whole story. Personally, I think it should have been something they addressed immediately after episode 1. I really want to see them delve deeper into this, especially with Hunter admitting that he's angry at himself for leaving Crosshair behind. But sadly, that's kind of the end of the good part for this plot for me. Hunter taking Omega with him to hunt down the dragon was a bad idea. She's just a kid and inexperienced. There are other ways to let her help out without endangering her and the chances of the team leaving the moon. Wrecker's head hurting is probably the inhibitor chip kicking in. I actually thought the ending would be a twist with him actually tricking Omega and capturing her, but it ended up being a family moment of them fully admitting her into the squad, which is alright. Now, the other plotline is what I really loved about this episode. The conflict between the Kaminoans and the Empire is brewing. With the first new squad of enlisted troopers instead of clones, you could already see the Prime Minister starting to get irritated by this prospect. Even Tarkin says that he eventually wants the clones gone, but right now he still needs them. I hope this eventually leads down to a Kamino uprising where we get stormtroopers versus clones. That'd be awesome. The climax of this episode was definitely Crosshair murdering his own squad member and then ordering the rest to murder the civilians in cold blood. It was so dark and I loved it. Filoni really made the good soldiers follow orders become something very menacing. And at the end you could even tell Crosshair is kind of aware of what he's doing, but doesn't really have a choice. That or he misses his old squad. I hope going forward we'll see more of Crosshair's new squad and their abilities. I know stormtroopers in the movies are pretty sloppy, but I like to think that there's more to enlisting troops instead of using clones than just that it'll be more than cost effective. What kind of worries me right now is that I'm more interested in the Kaminoans versus the Empire plot, more than the Bad Batch themselves. Though I know they'll eventually cross, I don't really want more filler episodes of just the Bad Batch and Omega. I kinda want more of a conflict between those two factions. All in all, 7 out of 10. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. See you next time.